This one here, we're in the book of Josephus. Call it out, brother.
Was Josephus, the New Complete Works of Josephus, translated by William Whiston.
What book?
Page 983, an extract out of Josephus's discourse to the Greeks concerning Hades.
It's toward the back of the book.
Right.
Discourse.
And y'all see, for those of you who have these sheets, that this is what we was going to read second to the last of the class. We just, to answer his question and to show you all, to not leave that, like I say, I had this coming that would have answered these questions, but we had to move it up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit this and keep moving. Go ahead.
Okay. Not constrained by necessity, but ever enjoying the prospect of the good things they see, and rejoice in the expectation of those new enjoyments which will be peculiar to every one of them, and esteeming those things beyond what we have here, with whom there is no place of toil, no burning heat, no piercing cold, nor any briars there, but the countenance of the fathers and of the just, which they see, always smiles upon them, while they wait for that rest and eternal new life in heaven.
So they're not in the kingdom yet.
Right. Absolutely.
They're resting, waiting for Christ to return and give them their reward.
Right.
You see the same thing in Revelation 6 and 9 when the soul beneath the altar are hollering out, how long, Lord, before you avenge our blood on the earth? His white robe is given to him a prominence and say, yet you should rest a little season. So you got to go back and just hold on to the judgment. But you good.
Right.
You've been saved.
Right.
Come on, bro.
Go ahead.
This place we call the bosom of Abraham.
They call it what?
The bosom of Abraham.
What we're reading about is something that's not after Christ made the resurrection. It's
Right,
when you
right.
die.
Right.
If you've been wicked, you're going to rest with the wicked.
That's right.
If you've been righteous, you're going to rest with the righteous. Smiles on your face, angels lead you to the right. Place of light, hymn and songs.
Man,
Y'all,
That's just like you say somebody laying in their coffin, he looks so peaceful, he's at, and then some you may see laying in the coffin looking like they in belts and white caps. Some they go right
Okay. And now one more thing also too, once you give up the ghost, whether you're on the right hand or left hand, that's your judgment.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your judgment. That's where you're going to be for eternity. Okay, now this is what's going to happen to the wicked.
Listen to this.
But as to the unjust, they are dragged by force
They are dragged.
to the left hand by the angels allotted for punishment.
Sound like somebody screaming, "Mama!"
Y'all remember the movie Ghost?
No longer going with their good will, but as prisoners driven by violence, to whom are sent the angels appointed over them to reproach them and threaten them with their terrible looks, and to thrust them still downwards. Now those angels that are set over these souls drag them into the neighborhood of hell itself, who, when they are hard by it, continually hear the noise of it.
Moses talks about souls and all those who have ever died.
Right.
It's not a parable, it's just about a nation.
Right.
Every man gonna have that. When you get that ghost up, guess what? Body go to dust, spirit go back to the Most High where your soul goes.
Right, and that's where you read what Christ went and preached to the souls in hell. Right. When he talked to Abraham, now, it's good, y'all, I done finished my course. And he moved on to his throne.
All right, here we go. Now those angels that are set over those souls drag them into the neighborhood of hell itself, who when they are hard by continually hear the noise of it, and do not stand clear of the hot vapor itself. But they have a near view of this spectacle as of a terrible and exceeding great prospect of fire. They are struck with a fearful expectation of a future judgment.
What judgment?
Of a future judgment.
This is not the lake of fire they in.
Right, absolutely.
And in effect punished thereby. And not only so, but where they see the place or acquire of the fathers and of the just, even hereby are they punished.
Just like the rich man. You see how Lazarus was chilling, laid back, he was punished to death because he was getting tormented.
Right.
He wanted a drop of water to touch his tongue.
Right.
So the historian is saying the same thing we're reading about him.
Right. And understand, this is what Christ is saying when he says you should receive the greater damnation. So you have to understand, some are received just, okay, you wicked, it's this, you got your read where you do it, but there's some that set out to really do evil, the work of Satan, like killing babies and torturing children and different things like that. The Most High saying there's a greater damnation for you.
A special spot for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That spot for you right on the
Worms chew on you on the rabbit.
Or also too, it's just like Judas Iscariot who betrayed the Messiah. He got his own place. He got his own place.
He went to a perdition.
Right.
And that's what perdition is called.
For a chaos deep and large is fixed between them.
Or golf, right?
And so much that a just man that has compassion upon them cannot be admitted.
Oh.
Nor can one that is unjust if he were bold enough to attempt to pass over. This is the discourse concerning Hades.
Concerning what?
Concerning Hades.
Or hell.
Right.
Wherein the souls of all men are confined.
How some men.
All men are confined until a proper season which the Most High has determined, when he will make a resurrection of all men from the dead, not procuring a transmigration of souls from one body to another, but raising again those very bodies which you Greeks seem to be dissolved, do not believe their resurrection.
So the very same body you died in, you're going to be resurrected. No reincarnation or none of that. See what he's saying? No transferring of souls from body to body.
Isaiah 33, Isaiah chapter 33 tells you Tophat is of old. It's been prepared for this. The Most High prepared that in the day before Adam and Eve them sinned. Because it was prepared for Satan and his angels. So he prepared the lake of fire before Adam and Eve were even in the earth or even created, because they attacked heaven. They attacked the throne. So he prepared that judgment for them. But because we decide we want to be just like them and get just as wicked, he say it's wrong for y'all. It's deep and it's wide.
Okay, y'all. But learn not to disbelieve it. For why you believe?
Got a question.
Started reading from the beginning of the Bible a couple weeks ago. You was saying kind of had me like, well, when I read kind of had me like, you kind of said, kind of put it back in perspective. So this was I was confused about. So before God made the heavens and the earth, anything, did his angels or whatever that he had made, did they roam the earth with? Was it him by himself just roaming the earth? Or did he have people like angels and Lucifer and all that? Yes. Angels with him before he made him.
Yeah, they in Job chapter 38, you'll see the angels and the sons of God shouted for joy at the creation of the world. So they watched it being created. They shouted for joy. They like, oh, it's beautiful. But then when they found out, they like, but oh, it's going to be a dirt man that we are serving to. They Lucifer like, what? What you say? He's like, man, we going to serve a dirt man? We angelic, we supernatural. We going to serve preternatural? You mean we going to take a step down? He said, that's what I created you for. To serve them, to be a guide to them, to be a watcher of my express image from nothing, because it's not dirt. You won't see we made from dirt. It said we came from dust, and dust is nothing. You get that TV, you'll see a little fingerprint there, but dust is nothing. So he created us from basically nothing. You know, so you have to understand that from that perspective, that Satan didn't like that. He conned a third of the angels. He said, we need to take the throne. I ain't bowing to no dirt. One thing, the Lord, but some dirt.
And at verse 26, I'm sorry, but you go, I just want to give it to him. In chapter 1, verse 26, and God said, let us make man in our image. So before man was even created, he was talking to somebody. Because he said us.
Right. Messiah.
That's it. 24 elders, so, yes, sir. But Satan pulled a power move. Now, y'all think how crafty he is that he can lure 1,000 that seem already what we hoping for. And he convinced them to lose.
That's the free
So
will.
in like manner, he'll convince you to lose your spot.
Right.
One of the angels, Azazel or something. He chained up. Yeah, he chained up. That's in the book of Eden.
And Dudael, some people say that's the desert of Egypt.
Right.
Yeah,
The elite just was over in Egypt last year on 11/11/11 at the Giza pyramid. And did a ritual. So what was they doing?
It said he chained up in the desert.
Yeah, that's what it is. Those books of the mummy that come out of Egypt, that's what they're saying. That's what that's who
But learn not to disbelieve. For while you believe that the soul is created and yet is made immortal by the Most High, according to the doctrine of Plato, and this in time be not incredulous.
They teach y'all about him in school, don't they? Plato and Socrates. Your brother was discoursing against these cats thousands of years ago. Smashing.
But believe that the Most High is able, when he has raised to life that body which is made as a compound of the same elements, to make it immortal. For it must never be said of the Most High that he is able to do some things and unable to do others. We have therefore believed that the body will be raised again, for although it be dissolved. Okay, now we're going to go to this 6 right quick, just a couple verses in here. For all men, the just as well as the unjust, shall be brought before the Most High, the Word.
The who?
The Word.
The word of God is who?
Right.
So we all, so when Romans say we all shall appear before the judgment seat of Christ.
That's right.
Josephus saying the same thing.
That's right.
And he's a historian saying that.
Go ahead, brother.
For to him has the Father committed all judgment, and he, in order to fulfill the will of his Father, shall come as judge, whom we call Christ. Whom we call Christ.
As a historian vouching for Jesus the Christ. That's right. So anybody telling you it ain't historical, he never existed, you can't find him outside the 5 books of the Bible and the Gospels, they lying.
Right.
Okay.
That's a guy that didn't even follow what I'm talking about.
That's right.
One more verse, y'all. For Minos and Rachmathus are not the judges, as ye Greeks do suppose.
So y'all, and also, just to clear this up, we're going to take a quick break. I just want to read, y'all write this down, Ecclesiasticus chapter 40, or Sirach in your Apocrypha, chapter 40, verse 26 through verse 30. And what it's just explaining is the difference in the type of a beggar. Now Lazarus was laid at the gate, sore, full of sores, and dogs was listening to sore. So usually when you have sores like that, it's either leprosy at a super advanced stage or cancer. So he was laying there, he was wore out to the point that he couldn't work. He was sick, he was wore out. And most of us look at it like cancer, how you just see him just rot away in front of you, and he was just laying there asking for a piece of bread, and this man had no mercy on that. It wasn't just because he was rich. It was just like you looking at him like you would look at somebody standing on the corner with a cup that's healthy enough to jump on the back of a labor-ready truck. So he was saying this is 2 different types of beggar here. This guy, you see he's at death's door. Why don't you make it more as comfortable for him as you can? You know, but this Sirach explains the difference right here. Sirach chapter 40, verse 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. There is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needeth not to seek help. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. For he polluted himself with other men's meat. But a wise man well matured will beware thereof. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but his belly there shall burn a fire. And this is telling you the difference. We're not talking about you see somebody hurt and you say, get a job. No, you have to understand what
Spare
the
change?
condition is.
Spare
There's a
change.
difference in somebody holding up the wheel work for food sign. You like, okay, I got some leaves I need to get ready. Right. Oh, well, I ain't got no rate. Why you got to sign? You know, so I got a rate. But the beggar that we were talking about was down and out on his luck. There's two different kinds versus the kind that eats at another man's table. You living with this person, it goes on to tell you you ain't gonna have no say so at talking. When they talking around a banquet table, they be like, shut the hell up, who is you? You heard all the time anyway. And matter of fact, go back there and get the rest of that dog do up. We ain't talking here. Who's working? You know, and that's where you put yourself at if you lead that type of life. Right. But Lazarus was in a different state of begging. He was full of sores and dogs licking him. So you understand that when dogs lick sores, they heal because you always see a dog licking sore with no medication is healed in 2 days. So that's why dogs was licking him, and the Most High have that much mercy that the dogs have more mercy on him than the rich man. So that's how you have to understand the problem, how you're breaking them down. You go precept upon precept.